All right, welcome to the Compadre System. I'm Jake Berry. Clay Williams joins me. Clay was in Weslaco tonight. Clay, how was your game?
My game was a beatdown from the word go. It was over pretty quickly. Weslaco is making a play to be one of the better defensive teams that I've seen in a long time. So far, they've given up 14 points total in 2 games. Both of the touchdowns came late in the fourth quarter in games where it was already decided. So they could have easily just as been shutouts. Weslaco winning 51-7 over Edcouch-Elsa. Weslaco goes to 2-0, and now they'll head to Far next Thursday for their third straight Thursday game, this one against PSJ North. So it'll be interesting.
You know, it's incredible what Weslaco has been able to do in this minimal time with Michael Salinas. You know, he's only been there a year, and sorry, I'm dropping things. He's only been there a year, and to go from the slot T to the spread and to have this much effectiveness has been outstanding.
Yeah, and this offense can get it done in lots of different ways. I mean, Jacob Cavazos is a really good decision maker. And sometimes, you know, he doesn't have the longest arm in the Rio Grande Valley. He doesn't have the fastest legs in the Rio Grande Valley. But I'll tell you what he does do. He makes terrific decisions. Kid holds on the ball as long as he wants to, as long as he can, making the decision on whether to run, whether to throw the ball, waiting for guys to get open. You know, he took a couple of sacks tonight. You know, that'll happen. It didn't faze him at all. He still ended up throwing for 4 touchdowns and running for another. He's a great quarterback, and he's the perfect quarterback for this Vela system where you use lots of different.
You mean Weslaco?
Yeah. Okay, we can call it the Vela system since that's what they had for 4 years, but for the system that Salinas ran at Vela, where you get as many great skill players, great talent into the game, and then use all of them as many different ways as you possibly can. And that's exactly what they're doing at Weslaco. It's fantastic. Peyton Kanab can run the ball. Jacob Cavazos can run the ball. They had Jaden Cavazos catch 2 touchdown passes tonight. Devin Denna caught another touchdown pass. They even used their tight end, Isaac Villarreal. Weslaco was hitting on all cylinders tonight.
And on the other side of the ball, Edcouch-Elsa, it's the second week they've scored 7 points in 2 games. Probably not the start that Coach Chavez wanted to have, but that's where they're at right now.
Yeah, and, you know, I know they're starting over, but tonight they alternated quarterbacks. Edcouch-Elsa did. And I guess they did this last week at Corpus Christi Veterans as well, which wasn't as big a beatdown as Weslaco put on them tonight, but I don't know if they're getting the best out of that offense when they rotate the quarterbacks. Raven Rojas might be the quarterback of the future, but right now he looks a little young. Albert Trevino is a good running quarterback, and he might not have, you know, the most accuracy, but he was getting yards tonight. They need to simplify the offense. They need to keep Trevino in at quarterback. They need to keep giving the ball to Isaac Deonda, who was the only bright spot for Edcouch-Elsa's offense tonight. The big guy, big running back, huge guy, getting, you know, 2-3 yards each time. They're in trouble. They've only scored 7 points in 2 games, and they've gotten the tar beaten out of them, and it's not going to get any easier next week when they take on Los Fresnos. That's for darn sure.
Yeah, and, you know, Edcouch is traditionally a program that everybody looks to be the trendsetters, to be the the winning team in the Valley. So it's gonna be hard over there. You know, they've got to start pulling some W's in these upcoming games. Now, that's not the only game we had on the docket today. Brownsville Pace beating Porter. We kind of both predicted this one. We didn't actually argue yesterday about this.
No, we both thought that Pace would win this game, but I got to tell you, I really like the resiliency of Porter. I think Porter went up 7-0 early, and then Pace came back and scored 2 quick ones. Scored 2 touchdowns in like 16 seconds. and went up 13-7. And it would have been real easy for Porter to just roll over. They'd lost 22 games in a row before, winning last week against Port Isabel, but they didn't quit at all. They went ahead and took the lead again. They went up 14-13, but then that last drive for the Vikings right before the half, that was it. They drove it was like 80, 87 yards, something like that. Brandon Zapata at quarterback led them the entire way. They scored right before halftime, 20-14, and that was pretty much it. 2 more touchdowns from Pace in the second half, but it was all over. And Pace, an easy win not completely easy, but a great win over Porter tonight, an overtime loss to Sharyland. And this has to be a team that people think about to make the playoffs in this. Only the top 4 are going to make it out of this 10-team district, but Pace has to be looked at as one of the contenders.
Yeah, I think so too. They've looked impressive, and I'm going to see Sharyland tomorrow night, so we'll see how they do, and because that'll be a marker for Pace to kind of gauge where they're at. On the other side of the valley, McAllen and Edinburgh North battled tonight.
Yeah.
And Mac High got that needed win. Edinburgh North is still looking for their first win. 13-9, Mac High over Edinburgh North.
Right. So this one was tied 7-7, and then Edinburgh North went up on a safety and went up 9-7. And then I lost track of the game, and the last thing I know is that McAllen won 13-9. Do you happen to know whether it was 2 field goals or whether it was a touchdown without an extra point? Do you know how it happened?
I actually am not sure. I haven't got the info yet. I was getting stuff from Tony Farina, who was at the game, but I didn't see the last tweet of his, so I need to check that out. But Mac High did get the needed win. Both teams, struggling early because they're trying to find their identity. But hey, a W is a W, especially at this point of the season.
Yeah, and both teams breaking in new quarterbacks too.
Yeah.
So let's see here at the box score. I got the box score here. 13-9, the final. It just says 6 points in the fourth quarter. Nobody scored until the second half in this game. It was 0-0 at half.
Yeah, I had got some updates, for Mac High right away. There were 5 offensive series, 1 fake punt. But in the game, there's 5 offensive series to start the game. 1 fake punt, 1 interception, and 3 punts. It was one of those games where you were just going to tread water until somebody pulled ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's a big win for Mac High. That's one they needed.
Mm-hmm.
And Edinburgh North still looking for their first one. So they're 0-2. Edcouch-Elsa is 0-2. And PSG Memorial is 0-2 after getting beat up pretty bad at home against a Mission Veterans team that you figured would do this.
Yeah, especially after last week. You lose the Mission in your opening game, Battle of Conway. You're going to take it out on the next guy. And sorry to say, PSG Memorial was that next guy. Nothing you can do there.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it makes sense that they would come back strong. They're a really good team, Mission Veterans is. If you were going to rank the top 0-1 teams in the Valley after week 1, you would have put Mission Veterans at number 1, I think. But you figure they're going to come back, and they did. Yeah.
DP, Danny Pettis, La Villa, they played a game in Bishop, am I correct? I think we talked about this yesterday.
They moved this one, I think. I think they moved it from Bishop, and they moved it somewhere else.
Oh, that's
I'm
always
trying to remember where to.
That's always convenient.
I don't even know where they moved the darn thing to tell you the truth.
Well, they fell. They fell to La Villa fell to Three Rivers, 32-12. La Villa's hasn't really been the same, in a few years. I can't remember when was the last time. I think Lupe Moron was a junior when they were.
Well, don't forget, La Villa, had that coaching carousel for such a long time until Danny Pettis came back for his second stint there, which I think was the right move to make. They moved it to Fremont. That's where it was. They moved the game to Fremont, and they played it there at the Cowboys Stadium. They played it there tonight.
Oh, Clay got a little update thanks to Facebook and Ronnie Rodriguez. He actually is telling me that Mackay scored on the last play of the game, so no extra point attempt was needed. So
gotcha.
And so that's how they did it. And then there's one question. I'll let you answer this one if you want.
All right.
This is real quick tonight, folks. Clay's tired. He went through a long game in Weslaco. But the question is, will Edcouch make the playoffs? That's Joe Martinez. I think it's too early to say, but what do you think?
I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. And to tell you the truth, I think that's too high an expectation for this team. They didn't make the playoffs last year. They've got a brand new coach. They're breaking in brand new people left and right. They still don't know who their quarterback is. I mean, by the time they get to it, maybe. But no, I don't think Edcouch makes the playoffs this year.
Yeah, especially with the way the districts are, have changed. It's going to be very difficult. So, but,
yeah,
it is what it is, as Manny Gomez would say.
It is what it is, yes.
But anyways, Clay's going to we're going to wrap this up. Clay's got to go to bed.
Oh, yeah, one thing about Levine, they are 0-2, but they got turf. They got turf at their stadium, Cardinal Stadium, so they're going to be opening up that turf next week when they're home. I'm not even sure who they're playing, but they're going to be at home for the new turf at Cardinal Stadium in Levia. So that's interesting. Everybody's getting turf now, because nobody wants to pay for lawnmowers and sprinklers anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's see here. Hold on. One quick thing. Mission Veterans and PSG Memorial. Let's see. So it was 20-0 after the first quarter. Oh, boy. It was 41-3 at halftime. Is your car getting stolen?
No, my phone's jammed. It's just stuck at this thing. I was trying to reset it so I could look up scores. But yeah, I'm sorry. Keep going.
Yeah. So it was 41-3 at halftime, and then nobody scored in the third quarter. And let's see. So Landry Gilpin, 54-yard rushing touchdown. PAT missed, makes it 6-0. And then Landry Gilpin, 6-yard touchdown pass. Come on, man.
I know, I'm sorry.
6-yard touchdown pass to A.J. Gonzak for a touchdown, makes it 12-0. And they make, 13-0. They make the PAT. And then Landry Gilpin, a 39-yard rushing touchdown. Mr. Gilpin had quite a few rushing yards tonight. That makes it 20-0. And the route is on. And then let's see. Landry Gilpin, 50-yard touchdown pass to Mikey Garcia. Makes it 26-3. Oh, okay. So PSG Memorial made a 14-yard field goal to make it 20-3. And then Landry Gilpin, 50-yard touchdown pass to Mikey Garcia. And so on and so forth. Landry Gilpin, 5-yard touchdown, 34-3. And then an onside kick. And it's another Landry Gilpin to Mikey Garcia touchdown. So it looks to me like Landry Gilpin probably had about 200 yards rushing and about 200 yards passing tonight.
So well balanced.
Yeah, exactly, which is kind of what we figured, right?
Yeah. And for anybody watching, it looks like Mercedes running back Alex Ramos will be back playing with the Tigers tomorrow. And he'll play against Rowe tomorrow. So Rowe will have their hands full tomorrow. But and thank you to Jay for letting me know on Facebook. But
thanks, Jay.
Yeah. But we're going to call it a night. We'll be back on Monday, whenever we do it again. And hey,
you got it.
Interesting game.
Thanks for watching the Compadre system.
Yep. Night.
Good night.